Project Management DNA. Welcome to the ultimate challenge for project managers. This quiz will test your knowledge of the most powerful tool for mastering project complexity. You will discover the secrets behind structuring any project for guaranteed success. Core concepts. In this section, we will explore the fundamental building blocks of the work breakdown structure. You will learn about its primary purpose and the core principles that prevent project failure. By the end, you will understand why the WBS is the true foundation of all successful projects. What is the primary purpose of a work breakdown structure, WBS? A. To define what work needs to be done. B. To schedule all project activities. C. To assign tasks to team members. D. To track project expenses. A. To define what work needs to be done. The WBS is a delivery-oriented hierarchical decomposition of the work to be executed by the project team. It focuses exclusively on the what of the project, creating a clear and complete picture of the required scope. The schedule, when, assignments, who, and costs are all planned based on the completed WBS. What is the most important principle for ensuring a WBS is complete? A. The 100% rule. B. The 8 to 80 rule. C. The top-down approach. D. The bottom-up approach. A. The 100% rule. This rule states that the WBS includes 100% of the work defined by the project scope and captures all deliverables. It ensures that all work is accounted for and that no unapproved work is added, preventing scope creep and gaps. The other options are methods or guidelines for creating the WBS, but the 100% rule defines its completeness. What is the lowest level of the work breakdown structure hierarchy called? A. A task. B. A milestone. C. A work package. D. A délivrable. C. A work package. Work packages are the lowest level of the WBS and represent the specific, manageable units of work that can be estimated, scheduled, and assigned. A task is a component of a work package. A milestone is a significant event, and a deliverable is an outcome that can exist at any level. The WBS serves as the foundational input for which processes? A. Stakeholder identification. B. Cost, schedule, and resource planning. C. Quality assurance and control. D. Team building activities. B. Cost, schedule, and resource planning. The WBS provides the detailed breakdown of all work required, which is essential for accurately estimating costs, defining the sequence and duration of activities for the schedule, and allocating the necessary resources. The other activities are important, but do not depend on the WBS as their primary input. How does a WBS help in managing stakeholder expectations? A. By defining the project budget. B. By setting the project timeline. C. By detailing the project team structure. D. By creating a clear, shared understanding of the project scope. D. By creating a clear, shared understanding of the project scope. The WBS provides a visual and comprehensive breakdown of all deliverables, leaving no room for ambiguity. This ensures that the project team, management, and external stakeholders are all on the same page about what the project will produce, which is crucial for managing expectations. The other elements are important, but are subsequent to defining the scope. Which document details the content of each work package? A. The project charter. B. The WBS dictionary. C. The risk register. D. The Gantt chart. B. The WBS dictionary. The WBS dictionary, or WBS dictionary, is a companion document that provides detailed descriptions of each component in the WBS. For each work package, it includes information like the scope of work, deliverables, acceptance criteria, estimated costs, and required resources. The other documents serve different purposes in project management. Structuring principles. This part of the quiz focuses on how a professional WBS is built. You will learn the different ways to break down a project and the rules for creating manageable work packages. This knowledge will enable you to choose the right structure for any type of project. Which structuring principle breaks down a project based on its physical components? A. Phase-oriented. B. Function-oriented. C. Geographic-oriented. D. Object-oriented. D. Object-oriented. The object-oriented, or product-oriented, approach decomposes the project based on the components of the final product. For example, a car project will be broken down into chassis, engine, and interior. Phase-oriented follows the project life cycle, and function-oriented is based on departments or skills. A project to launch a new product is best structured using which principle? A. Phase-oriented. B. Object-oriented. C. Function-oriented. D. Matrix-oriented. A. Phase-oriented. A product launch naturally follows a life cycle, making a phase-oriented structure ideal. This would include phases like concept, development, testing, launch, and post-launch review. This provides clear milestones and control points throughout the project's timeline. What does the 880 rule suggest for work package duration? A. It should take 8 to 80 days to complete. B. It should be assigned to a team of 8 to 80 people. C. It should require between 8 and 80 hours of effort. D. It should have between 8 and 80 subtasks. C. It should require between 8 and 80 hours of effort. The 880 rule is a guideline to ensure work packages are sized appropriately. They should be small enough to be manageable and measurable within a reporting period, but large enough to avoid micromanagement. Less than 8 hours is too small, and more than 80 hours is often too large to control effectively. Structuring a WBS based on the departments involved, like marketing and IT, is known as what? A. Function-oriented structuring. B. Object-oriented structuring. C. Phase-oriented structuring. D. Hybride structuring. A. Function-oriented structuring. This approach organizes the project work according to the functional departments or teams that will perform it. It is common in organizations with strong departmental structures, matrix organizations, as it can simplify budgeting and resource allocation. What is the most common and practical approach to structuring a complex WBS? A. A hybrid approach. B. A strict phase-oriented approach. C. A strict object-oriented approach. D. A strict function-oriented approach. A. A hybrid approach. In practice, most complex projects benefit from a hybrid or mixed approach. This involves using different structuring principles at different levels of the WBS. For instance, the top level might be phase-oriented, while a specific phase might be broken down using an object-oriented structure. What is a control account in the context of a large project's WBS? A. The project's total budget. B. A specific work package. C. The account for project-related travel expenses. D. A management control point for integrating scope, budget, and schedule. D. A management control point for integrating scope, budget, and schedule. A control account is a point in the WBS, typically above the work package level, where scope, cost, and schedule are integrated and compared to the earned value for performance measurement. It is a key element for project control in large, complex projects. A WBS element for which the scope is known but detailed work packages are not yet defined is called a milestone, B. Subproject, C. Planning package, D. Scope statement, C. Planning package. A planning package is a component in the WBS that holds a known scope of work but is not yet broken down into detailed work packages. This is used in rolling wave planning, where future work is kept at a higher level of detail until it gets closer to being executed. Building the plan. Discover the methods used to create a robust WBS from scratch. This section covers the collaborative processes and modern tools that transform an idea into a concrete action plan. You will learn the best way to ensure your plan is complete and accurate. What is the yo-yo method for creating a WBS? A. Starting from the top and going down. B. Starting from the bottom and going up. C. Starting with a single task and expanding outwards. D. Combining top-down and bottom-up approaches. D. Combining top-down and bottom-up approaches. The yo-yo method, or countercurrent procedure, is considered the most effective. It starts with a top-down breakdown to establish the main structure, followed by a bottom-up review from the team to ensure all details are captured, and then a final top-down refinement. What is the primary risk of a purely top-down approach to creating a WBS? A. It is too time-consuming. B. It can be difficult to get management buy-in. C. Important details or work packages at lower levels may be missed. D. It creates a structure that is too flat. C. Important details or work packages at lower levels may be missed. In a purely top-down approach, the high-level planners might overlook specific tasks or deliverables that are only visible to the experts working on the details. This can lead to an incomplete scope. The yo-yo method helps mitigate this risk. What is the primary risk of a purely bottom-up approach to creating a WBS? A. It is too fast and misses the big picture. B. It requires strong, authoritarian leadership. C. The overall project structure can become illogical and disorganized. D. It is only suitable for very small projects. C. The overall project structure can become illogical and disorganized. When starting with a brainstorm of all possible tasks, it can be challenging to group them into a coherent, logical, and hierarchical structure that properly represents the project's main deliverables and phases. The big picture can get lost in the details. What is the best environment for creating a robust WBS? A. By the project manager working alone. B. In a meeting with senior executives only. C. In a series of one-on-one interviews. D. In a collaborative workshop with the core project team. D. In a collaborative workshop with the core project team. The most effective WBSs are created through a collaborative effort. A workshop leverages the collective knowledge of the entire team, including subject matter experts, ensuring the plan is comprehensive, accurate, and has strong buy-in from those who will execute the work. Which type of tool is excellent for the initial creative phase of building a WBS? A. A spreadsheet program like Excel. B. A word processor like Word. C. A database program like Access. D. A mind mapping tool. D. A mind mapping tool. Mind mapping software is ideal for the initial brainstorming and structuring of a WBS. Its visual and flexible nature allows for easy top-down decomposition and reorganization of ideas before committing to a more formal structure in a project management tool. In an agile project, what is the closest equivalent to a work package? A. An epic. B. A sprint. C. A user story. D. A release. C. A user story. While the terminology differs, a user story in Scrum serves a similar purpose to a work package. It represents a small, defined piece of work that delivers value and is detailed just in time for implementation within sprint. Epics are larger bodies of work, similar to higher-level WBS elements. What is rolling wave planning? A. Planning the entire project in one single wave. B. A technique where near-term work is planned in detail and future work is planned at a higher level. C. A method where the project plan is never updated. D. Planning only the final phase of the project. B. A technique where near-term work is planned in detail and future work is planned at a higher level. Rolling wave planning is an iterative planning technique. It allows for detailed planning of the upcoming project phase while keeping future phases at a higher level as planning packages. This provides flexibility while maintaining a complete overall structure. WBS in action. This section explores how the WBS integrates with every other area of project management. You will see how it becomes the single source of truth for controlling the project. Understand this, and you will understand how to keep your projects on track. How does the WBS support cost management? A. By assigning a cost center to each work package. B. By tracking the daily stock market fluctuations. C. By setting the exchange rate for the project. D. By choosing the cheapest suppliers. A. By assigning a cost center to each work package. The WBS breaks the project down into measurable work packages, each of which can have a budget assigned to it, effectively turning it into a cost center. The sum of all work package budgets forms the total project budget, or cost baseline, allowing for detailed tracking and control. The WBS is a critical input for creating which scheduling document? A. The project organization chart. B. The Gantt chart. C. The stakeholder register. D. The communications plan. B. The Gantt chart. The work packages defined in the WBS are decomposed into activities, which are then sequenced and estimated to create the project schedule. The Gantt chart is the most common visual representation of this schedule, showing the timeline for all the work defined in the WBS. How does the WBS aid in risk management? A. By eliminating all project risks. B. By providing a structure for identifying risks at the work package level. C. By ensuring the project against financial loss. D. By creating a separate plan for each identified risk. B. By providing a structure for identifying risks at the work package level. A common technique in risk identification is to go through the WBS element by element and ask what could go wrong here. This systematic approach ensures that risks are considered for every part of the project scope. When outsourcing a part of a project, The relevant WBS elements are used to create what? A. The Statement of Work, SOW. B. The Non-Disclosure Agreement, NDA. C. The invoice for the vendor. D. The marketing brochure. A. The Statement of Work, SOW. The Statement of Work is a formal document that defines the specific scope of work to be performed by a vendor. The relevant work packages and their detailed descriptions from the WBS and its dictionary form the core of the SOW, ensuring the vendor knows exactly what needs to be delivered. How does the WBS serve as a primary communication tool? A. It replaces the need for project meetings. B. It automatically sends email updates to stakeholders. C. It provides a common, unambiguous reference for all project work. D. It includes the contact information for all team members. C. It provides a common, unambiguous reference for all project work. The WBS's structured codes, e.g., 1.2.3, and clear hierarchy create a universal language for the project. When someone refers to Work Package 1.2.3, everyone on the team knows exactly what is being discussed, which drastically reduces misunderstandings. Advanced applications. Explore how this classic tool adapts to the fast-paced world of modern project management. This section covers the WBS's role in agile and hybrid environments. You will learn how it remains relevant and powerful even when dealing with uncertainty. Is it true that a WBS has no place in agile projects? A. Yes, agile methods strictly forbid using a WBS. B. Yes, the product backlog serves the exact same function. C. No, a WBS can be used to structure the overall product or epics. D. No, but it can only be used for the final phase of the project. C. No, a WBS can be used to structure the overall product or epics. This is a common misconception. A WBS can be very useful in agile environments to provide a high-level structure of the total scope, often organizing the product into themes or epics. The product backlog can then be seen as a dynamic, prioritized view of the WBS. A project involving both hardware development and agile software development is best managed with what? A. A purely agile approach. B. A purely waterfall approach. C. A chaotic approach. D. A hybrid approach using a WBS. D. A hybrid approach using a WBS. A hybrid model is perfect for this scenario. The stable, predictable hardware part can be planned in detail using a classic WBS. The uncertain, innovative software part can be managed using agile methods, while still being anchored within the overall WBS structure for a complete project view. What is the primary benefit of using rolling wave planning? A. It ensures the project plan never changes. B. It combines the stability of a full WBS with the flexibility to adapt to change. C. It allows the project manager to delegate all planning to the team. D. It eliminates the need for a project budget. B. It combines the stability of a full WBS with the flexibility to adapt to change. Rolling wave planning provides the best of both worlds. It maintains a complete, high-level WBS for the entire project, providing stability and a clear vision. At the same time, it offers the flexibility to detail future work as more information becomes available, making it ideal for long or uncertain projects. How can artificial intelligence, AI, assist in creating a WBS? A. By replacing the project manager entirely. B. By interviewing stakeholders to gather requirements. C. By automatically generating a draft WBS from project documents. D. By selecting the project team members. C. By automatically generating a draft WBS from project documents. AI tools are emerging that can analyze project charters, requirement documents, or even email chains to generate a first draft of a WBS. AI can also help check for completeness by comparing the draft against historical project data, pointing out potential gaps. Expert knowledge check. This final section will test your mastery of the finer points of the WBS. These questions cover the critical concepts and common pitfalls that separate the experts from the novices. Ace this section to prove you are a true WBS master. What three components form the scope baseline? A. Project charter, business case, and benefits management plan. B. Scope statement, WBS, and WBS dictionary. C. Risk register, issue log, and change log. D. Gantt chart, network diagram, and resource calendar. B. Scope statement, WBS, and WBS dictionary. The scope baseline is the approved version of the project scope. It is a key project artifact used for change control and consists of three things: the project scope statement, the work breakdown structure, WBS/WBS, and the WBS dictionary, WBS dictionary. What is the term for adding features and functionality that are not in the original scope? A. Scope validation. B. Scope creep. C. Gold plating. D. Fast-tracking. C. Gold plating. Gold plating refers to the act of adding extra features or work to a project that were not in the original requirements, often by the project team, without customer request. A firm scope baseline, based on the WBS, and a formal change control process are the best defenses against it. Scope creep is the uncontrolled growth of scope. Forgetting to include a top-level element for project management in a WBS is a common error that violates what? A. The 8 to 80 rule. B. The yo-yo method. C. The principle of stakeholder engagement. D. The 100% rule. D. The 100% rule. Project management itself is part of the work of the project and must be included in the WBS to account for 100% of the effort. A dedicated branch for project management activities like planning, controlling, and reporting ensures these crucial tasks are not forgotten. A customer requests a new feature. What is the first step in responding to this request? A. Immediately add it to the project plan. B. Analyze the request against the scope baseline. C. Ask the developers how long it will take. D. Reject the request to avoid scope creep. B. Analyze the request against the scope baseline. Before any action is taken, the request must be formally evaluated against the approved scope baseline, WBS, WBS dictionary, scope statement. This analysis determines if it is a new requirement and what its impact on cost, schedule, and resources would be. This analysis is then presented to a change control board for a formal decision. Listing marketing department as a level 1 element in a WBS for a new product launch is an example of what kind of error? A. Using a phase-oriented structure. B. Confusing the who with the what. C. Making the WBS too detailed. D. Making the WBS not detailed enough. B. Confusing the who with the what. A WBS should define the project's work and deliverables, the what, not the organizational units that will perform the work, The who. While a function-oriented structure is valid, it should list the functions or activities, e.g., market analysis, not the department name itself. In a project to build a house, install foundation is a work package. Which of the following is an activity, not a deliverable? A. Completed foundation inspection report. B. Poured concrete slab. C. Excavated foundation area. D. Pouring the concrete. D. Pouring the concrete. Pouring the concrete is an activity or task that needs to be performed. The deliverables or outcomes are the excavated area, the poured slab, and the inspection report. A WBS focuses on decomposing the work into deliverables. What is the primary danger of a WBS that is broken down into excessive detail, micromanagement? A. The project will finish ahead of schedule. B. The project will be under budget. C. It becomes inflexible and inefficient to manage. D. It improves team morale. C. It becomes inflexible and inefficient to manage. A WBS that is too detailed, violating the 880 rule on the low end, becomes a cumbersome checklist rather than a strategic tool. It makes the plan rigid, increases overhead for status tracking, and can lead to a sense of micromanagement, stifling team autonomy and creativity. The approved project scope statement is a key input for which process? A. Creating the WBS. B. Closing the project. C. Developing the project team. D. Managing stakeholder engagement. A. Creating the WBS. The project scope statement provides a detailed description of the project scope, major deliverables, assumptions, and constraints. This document is the primary input and starting point for the process of creating the work breakdown structure, as it defines what must be decomposed.